This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Stephanie Roberts.
Welcome, Stephanie. And I'm Don Brennan, along with John Scalzi. And thanks for joining us at 6 o'clock this morning.
On your birthday.
Happy birthday, brother.
Happy birthday.
Yes, the epitome of All Saints Day.
Yes. I actually thought this morning when I realized and remembered it was your birthday that I thought, that's who's born on All Saints Day?
Yeah, right. Go figure.
Nothing. Just irony is amusing to me.
Me, Fernando Valenzuela, Jenny McCarthy, Eric Spolstra, the Heat's coach.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Now, as a kid, was it annoying to have your birthday be the day after Halloween when everyone's
No,
tired
it
and
was
over?
great.
You liked it?
Because there was always a party the night before, and I always had a lot of candy the next day, and then I got gifts too, so it was great.
Life is good.
It did work out.
Just
It doesn't work out as much as an adult, though.
Yeah, I know. You know what? I had a Halloween bummer last night because it was the first year that nobody was really participating.
Oh,
And
yeah, the kids
I
are,
have old
yeah.
kid syndrome.
Right.
I'm feeling like
Old kids.
I'm feeling like it has all gone away.
Well, you know, everything has changed. It seems like everything now is being done at the malls or at community centers
It
or
is.
things.
It's
We had
very
two
different.
trick-or-treaters at our house.
Yeah.
Want some candy?
Thank
Plenty
you.
of it. Lots of candy. So it worked out to about $5 a candy bar.
Yes. Not a good investment,
Yeah.
but hopefully everyone had a
was great.
safe and happy night. At least the weather cooperated.
It was beautiful. I mean, that breeze really made it feel so nice, you know, and the lower relative humidity, even if the temperatures were a little warm, it felt nice out there. And the same thing today. We'll have pretty much a repeat of what we had yesterday. Clear skies across the state, leading to some very dry conditions during the afternoon. We'll look for daytime highs to top out again in the upper 80s, but that lower humidity and the breeze in the afternoon kind of take the edge off. We'll have the complete forecast, including changes for the weekend, in just a few.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Taking a look at Suncoast roadways. There is an accident. It's at State Road 64 and U-Line Road, so be aware of that. That's out east, but you know, do be aware of it. Hopefully it won't cause any problems, and it's not right now, but as volume picks up, it may. Downtown Bradenton looking good. 301, 75, 41, all moving along nicely at this point in the morning, all the way down into Sarasota County and through Sarasota County, although with 6 o'clock coming, there is more volume on the road, but nothing to worry about at this point.
It is 6:03, and topping our news at this hour, it is 1 week until Election Day, and the campaign trail is once again moving through Southwest Florida as the candidates continue their focus on battleground states like ours.
Yeah, it seems like they've camped out in Florida, but Donald Trump and Mike Pence, they're going to be in Pennsylvania today. Hillary Clinton, she'll make 3 stops here in Florida, beginning in Pasco County. She'll hold an event at the Pasco Hernando State College in Dade City. The doors will open at 1. The rally begins at 3. Clinton will then head east for 2 events in Sanford and Fort Lauderdale.
Meanwhile, former President Bill Clinton will be campaigning for his wife in St. Petersburg tonight. That event will be held at the Wildwood Rec Center on 28th Street South. Doors open at 5 p.m. and Clinton is expected to speak at 6:30. Well, from the presidential race to the U.S. Senate race, Senator Marco Rubio will be on the Suncoast today for a campaign rally of his own. That event will be at Mixon Fruit Farms. That's on 27th Street East in Bradenton. It starts at 2 p.m. today. The Miami Republican is seeking re-election to a second 6-year term. He is running against Democratic Congressman Patrick Murphy.
An Venice firefighter could be out of a job after being arrested and charged with a DUI in Pinellas County. Police say Jerry Collins was seen asleep at the wheel at an intersection in Pinellas Park earlier this month, or last month. He sat through several green lights. They say they could also smell alcohol when they opened his car door. Collins allegedly did not report the incident to his superior within the 72 hours that's specified in city rules.
That's the employee's responsibility. That in this case did not happen.
I'm concerned for, of course, it reflects on the city, and I'm concerned also for the individual.
Collins has been on leave of absence since his arrest. A disciplinary hearing with the city is set for this month. And we're learning more about the fatal hit and run we first reported on Good Morning Suncoast yesterday morning. The Florida Highway Patrol says 41-year-old Clarence Johnson was walking in the westbound lanes of State Road 64. That's just west of the Hardee County line. And that was around midnight. Troopers believe a Ford Super Duty pickup truck or van hit and killed Johnson before fleeing the scene. Troopers are asking anyone with information to call their Bradenton location at 751-8350. The accident caused both lanes to be shut down for several hours.
In Palmetto, friends, family, and community members are working together to honor the life of an 11-year-old Bradenton girl found dead last year. Members of the Palmetto Presbyterian Church held a benefit concert last night for the Janiyah Thomas Scholarship Fund. Graduating seniors going to college who attended Manatee Elementary would be eligible for the annual scholarship. That scholarship is being managed by the Manatee Education Foundation in Janiyah's memory.
We just want to support their efforts, because it was such a tragedy and such a terrible, sad story, and there are a lot of sad stories out there, and I wish we could help everybody, but Janiyah was particularly special, I think.
Janiyah was found dead in a freezer in her grandmother's house last year. Her mother faces charges for her murder and goes to trial next summer. New this morning, a local home developer under investigation for allegedly tearing down part of a conservation area in Manatee County. Medallion Homes is in the process of building 1,000 homes, a hotel, retail space, and a marina along the bayfront south of Cortez Village. However, nearby homeowners in the Legends Bay community say they saw bulldozers rip out trees and land in the protected conservation area near the development site. According to the Bradenton Herald, the manager of the Legends Bay Development District sent a letter to Medallion to ask them to stop clearing land until the property ownership was confirmed. But the company continues to clear the site. Manatee County Code Enforcement investigating.
Also new this morning, the grades are in on safety in local hospitals. In a biannual survey from the Leapfrog Group, 3 out of 10 local hospitals all received an A grade for safety. They are Doctors Hospital of Sarasota, Englewood Community Hospital, and Sarasota Memorial. Doctors Hospital and Englewood have had an A status for at least the past 2 years, but Sarasota Memorial went up from a C this spring to an A. Meanwhile, Blake Medical Center received a C, and Manatee Memorial and Venice Regional Bayfront Health both received grades of D. The nonprofit group uses a panel of hospital safety experts as well as hospital data to determine those grades. And Walmart looking to hire more employees to help with the opening of a new store in Sarasota. The new neighborhood market is being built in the Palmer Crossing Plaza, which is on Palmer Crossing Circle. A temporary hiring center has been set up near the site, and staff members are accepting applications at the center Monday through Friday from 8 in the morning till 7 in the evening, and then on Saturdays from 9 a.m. until 2 in the afternoon. The majority of those who are hired will start this month to help get the store ready for its big grand opening come January. And Barnes & Noble Sarasota is also looking for help to give local children the gift of reading. Beginning today, the bookstore will begin its annual holiday book drive. Customers will be able to buy and donate books that will go to the Suncoast campaign for grade level reading. Now, the campaign helps children in Sarasota and Manatee counties, and the drive will end on New Year's Day. To participate, you can visit the Sarasota Barnes & Noble on South Miami Trail.
In Manatee County, you can get some holiday shopping done tonight while also helping a good cause. The first ever River House Waterfront Market will be held from 6 to 9 in the Riverfront Room at the River House Reef and Grill in Palmetto. Dozens of local businesses will be participating, selling everything from gift baskets to clothing to sweet treats and jewelry. It is free to attend, but if you go, you are asked to bring a canned good for the Manatee Food Bank.
Many Suncoast beaches need renourishment every 5 to 10 years, but that may change by the year 2037.
Ringling College of Art and Design resident futurist David Houle says sea level rise goes hand in hand with beach erosion. One day, our beaches will be covered by the Gulf, impacting those who live on our barrier islands.
Beach erosion is the natural course of events, but when you drop it into sea level rise, it's massively inward. There won't be any home in Siesta Key that won't be at risk of flooding at a high tide in a storm.
Houle also says our infrastructure, with things like sewer and water lines and underground power lines, will corrode as sea levels rise and flood our coastal areas. Something to think about and be a little concerned about.
Better move now.
Go out and enjoy the beach now before it disappears.
Now, Sarasota ranking high among small city living in the U.S.
Absolutely. It's a new survey by WalletHub.com, and it ranks Sarasota in the top 4% of the best small cities in America. It ranks first place in coffee shops, restaurants, bars, and fitness centers per capita. Over 1,200 sites were surveyed, according to WalletHub. One of the best perks about living in a small city is the cheaper cost of living, which many say, though, does not apply to Sarasota.
I was
But I
just
like
about
the
to say
fact
that
that we have
myself.
more restaurants per capita
Yes.
than most small cities.
Yes, that's good.
That
Plus, you
is
need all
good.
that coffee to help you earn more money to live here. So,
Good point,
Yeah.
good point.
yeah, it's great. It's no better place to live, I think.
Location,
Absolutely.
location.
Absolutely. Nice weather shaping up for you today. That's another big perk here on the Suncoast, and I think today will be no exception. Beautiful weather in the forecast.
Looking forward to that. Still ahead on your Suncoast News.
We shouldn't be judged on how we vote compared to the state or anybody else's how we vote.
Being graded for your voting record. Some voters are receiving report cards in an effort to get them out to the polls, but is it working? We'll take a look coming up.
It's the Crystal Classic International Sand Sculpting Festival on Siesta Beach, November 11th through 15th, with 24 of the world's best sand sculptors. Bring the family for new hands-on kids activities, live music, food, sand sculpting lessons, and more. See siestakeycrystalclassic.com for details.
Download ABC7's free all-new news app at your app store today.
The official salon of ABC7. Cutting Loose Salon.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 1-800-764-8708. That's 1-800-764-8708.
They took that stress and that tension when I was particularly feeling very bad after that nasty car accident, and it was such a relief to know that I didn't have to bear that burden alone, that I had help.
Our goal is to not just get a satisfactory settlement on their case. We want them up on their feet, happy again. They've gotten their life back.
Come see the Crystal Classic International Sand Sculpting Festival November 11th through 15th on Siesta Beach. Check out the Crystal Classic Party Tent, produced by Siesta Key Chamber of Commerce and Moat Marine. Details including remote parking via SCAT. Visit siestakeycrystalclassic.com.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Looking at pretty decent conditions across the region. Temperatures are fairly mild, coming in at 67 degrees. But the thing is, the dew point value is still very comfortable at 62. We have a northeast wind, same wind direction again today, coming in at about 6 miles per hour under a fairly clear sky. It's a nice start to the morning, and it'll end up being a pretty nice afternoon as well. Not because it's necessarily comfortable air temperatures. 88 degrees is pretty warm for an afternoon high at this time of year anyway. About 5 to 8 degrees above average is what we'll run, depending on whether you're near the coast or inland. 64 degrees, Wauchula, Arcadia, Myakka, Parrish, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch, Northport. 66 degrees in Venice, 66 in Inglewood, and if you're on the Key at Longboat, you've got 69. What'll make it comfortable today is this. This is the dry air aloft, some of it which has filtered down to the surface, lowering our dew points and making it feel just a little bit more comfortable, especially if you factor in that breeze. The breeze combined with the drier air is nice. It'll make it take the edge off the afternoon high temperatures. This dry air is just funneling down right down the spine of the state, and there's really no change in that. This tan contour indicates the dry air, the turquoise indicates the more moisture, and obviously moisture is nowhere around. We will not see any rainfall today, or really even into the extended range, despite the fact that we have a cold front advancing into our area. Sometimes those cold fronts can trigger off showers, sometimes even thunderstorms. We're not going to see that this time. We're going to see even very little in the way of cloud cover. Across the entire state of Florida, things pretty clear right now. We have that next front that I'm speaking about located back to the west right now. It's advancing in this direction. It'll be here Friday. One thing you will notice is a switch in our wind direction. For the next couple of days, we'll see that wind continuing out of the northeast or east and being rather breezy at times. Then, as that front approaches and moves through here on Friday into Saturday morning, we're going to notice the wind shift around more to the north-northwest. Plus, it'll get a little breezy around here. Now, these winds over the next couple of days will have breezy moments with an afternoon surge in the later part of the afternoon and into the evening. But the wind speeds on Saturday, I think, will be a little bit higher all day long. We're looking at a warm afternoon today, dry skies, and that breezy northeast wind in the afternoon surging through the early evening. And that will be the case over the next several days, I think, pretty much unchanged. The Severe Storm Forecast Center putting out their outlook showing that all of the thunderstorm activity is going to occur in the western half of the United States. The eastern half really pretty quiet. Certainly the state of Florida, well, I don't even think we'll see much in the way of rain showers, much less thunderstorms across our region. Our rainfall futurecast shows a little bit of cloud cover perhaps on the increase over the next couple of days. This particular model picks up on a shower or two trying to work its way across our region. I don't know about that one. I think that might be a little bit overdone, but certainly a few increased clouds, an increase in the number of clouds that we see across our region over particularly Thursday and Friday, I think is probably a pretty likely scenario. High pressure, the dominant weather feature, producing pretty much a cloud-free near Atlantic zone. Gulf of Mexico, pretty much cloud-free. Caribbean looks good as well. When you get to the Leeward and Windward Islands, you're picking up a few scattered showers and maybe a thunderstorm or two there. And out in the far Atlantic, there are some thunderstorms around and some showers as well. But nothing that's organized, nothing threatening the United States. Next 7 days look to be absolutely free and clear of any issues. For boaters today, northeast wind at about 15 will give you a moderate chop on your bay and inland waters. And the forecast for the 7 days ahead looks great. After that front moves through on Friday, our temperatures lower about 10 degrees. So it looks like a nice weekend with lots of sunshine, low relative humidity, and cool afternoons. And don't forget, clock's back when you go to bed Saturday night. They turn at 2 a.m. Sunday morning. Back to you guys.
All right, that might be perfect between the weather and the extra hour of sleep. We are counting down to that. Thank you, John. Looking at the roadways this morning, they are not perfect. We have an accident on 64. It is in the eastbound direction east of I-75 and a partial blockage there out at Uline Road. So just be careful if you are headed out to the east. In Bradenton, things moving pretty well. Still quiet, 301, 41, both directions, and heading out State Road 70 and Cortez roads. As you head down into Sarasota, it looks like a pretty good trip across University, Fruitville, Bee Ridge, and Clark roads. No problems being reported right now on I-75 or 41, and typical construction slowdowns as you get into South County. It is 6:19, and with 1 week left until the election, last-ditch efforts are underway to get more people to head out to the polls.
Yeah, they want people to vote. In some cases, voters receiving report cards on their performance to encourage them to cast their ballots. Gina Esposito reports.
This letter was sent to 375,000 voters in North Carolina. It claims to be your voting report card and gives a score based on how many times you voted over the past 4 years.
I would really know. You know, you only have 2 times that I voted, and I've been in Mecklenburg County for over 20 years.
Leather Anderson couldn't remember if her score read below average, but says it wasn't good.
I don't remember voting in 2014, but I remember voting in 2008 and 2012.
Other voters thought it was an invasion of privacy.
But we shouldn't be judged on how we vote compared to the state or anybody else's how we vote.
I reached out to the nonprofit group, the Voter Participation Center, to find out who is getting these letters and why. The president of this group sent me this statement saying, in part, we use voter report cards to encourage citizens to vote and to ensure that our democracy is truly representative. The group says it's targeting a specific group of voters: unmarried women, African Americans, Latinos, and millennials. Their research showed nearly 1 million eligible North Carolina voters in this group failed to cast a ballot in 2014. They hope to close that gap for the 2016 election. Even though Anderson is still questioning the legitimacy of her report card, today her 2016 vote counted.
I think some people just get out and vote.
And still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
We're going to talk about the mother of a boy who was left in a hot car. She is now sharing her side of the story as her ex-husband faces charges in their son's death. Her reaction next.
How long have we been married there?
For 76 years.
He was kind and generous to me before we married, and he was kind and generous to me all these years. We decided on Meals on Wheels because I was getting to the point where I couldn't do all the things that I had been able to do. We're the Spans. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
The celebration is heating up, and the prices just keep getting better during the Jeep Celebration event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Come shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers, or check out this stylish new Jeep Renegade starting at just $16,999. Stop by today and drive away in a brand new Jeep Patriot for just $14,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, you'll always get the most for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet, a new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing, complimentary maintenance included at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
Call right now to get your free Senior Care Compass ebook. Find out about the 5 best-kept secrets on financing senior care and assisted living.
Call now, 800-290-0352. 800-290-0352.
Welcome back at 6:24. A tearful testimony from the ex-wife of a Georgia man charged with murder after their toddler died in a hot SUV.
And Steve Osunami has the details.
In this morning's GMA First Look, it's the most compelling testimony jurors have heard so far, agreeing with Justin Ross Harris and his lawyers. His now ex-wife and the mother of the child he's accused of intentionally killing is coming to his defense. Ross loved this little boy.
Yes, he did. Very much.
Leanna Taylor was brought to tears remembering the moment she learned her son Cooper had died after he was left in this hot SUV outside her husband's Atlanta office.
Cooper was the sweetest little boy.
He's charged with murder and is pleading not guilty. Earlier this year, Harris and Taylor divorced, but she still told jurors Harris was a good dad and that her son's death was an accident.
It was the only thing that clicked in my mind as even a remote possibility.
We'll have Dan Abrams and Nancy Grace weigh in live at 7 a.m. with your GMA First Look. I'm Steve Osentami, ABC News, Atlanta.
The only thing.
Oh, look. Another anti-wrinkle cream in no hurry to make anything happen. Neutrogena Rapid Wrinkle Repair works in 1 week with the fastest retinol formula available. It's clinically proven to work on fine lines and even deep wrinkles. 1 week? That definitely works. Rapid Wrinkle Repair. And for dark spots, Rapid Tone Repair. Neutrogena. See what's possible. Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. Je me fous du passé.
Emerge restored, fortified, replenished. Emerge every day with Emergen-C, packed with B vitamins, antioxidants, electrolytes, plus more vitamin C than 10 oranges. Why not feel this good every day? Emerge and see.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
It's being called the bacon boom, and it is sizzling hot. I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. Bacon is popping up everywhere and in everything. We'll pig out on some creative combinations. Sarasota Society photographer Cliff Rolls previews the big November social and charity events, plus an ambulance for pets when they have an emergency, and Tandoor Indian cuisine in the kitchen.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
Hurricane season is here. Are you prepared? ABC7 has the information you need. Access our special Surviving a Hurricane now. Access our special on our ABC7 app and all our live streaming platforms.
Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku. ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AndServices.com.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
I owed the IRS $20,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions Now.
Call 1-800-565-7740. That's 1-800-565-7740.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast. Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-652-3012. That's 1-800-652-3012. Call now 1-800-652-3012. For a free brochure, call 1-800-652-3012.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, FBI Director James Comey facing criticism from both sides over this investigation into Hillary Clinton's emails.
Plus, a dramatic rescue after a woman's car catches on fire. We'll show you what caused it.
And if you're cooking Thanksgiving dinner this year, how it will now be easier to address any problems you may have with your turkey. We'll tell you what changes you can expect to see.
live from the ABC 7 studios. This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Welcome back at 6:30. I'm Stephanie Roberts.
And I'm Don Brennan along with John Scalzi. Now, we're seeing a lot of rescues of people lying in the woods for days and surviving a car fire. You hit a raccoon and destroyed your car. I mean,
didn't destroy the car, just the expensive part of the car.
Yeah, it sure did, didn't it? Yeah. I don't know what's going on. There must be some kind of bad car juju fever going around right now.
There definitely is.
Not good at all.
Well, hopefully the weather will cooperate if you're out there stuck in traffic. Although this video looks just stunning that we're going to see here in a few minutes. But if you're out there driving around today, it'll be a lovely afternoon. Lots of sunshine provides us with daytime high temperatures that'll be mild, certainly in the upper 80s, well above average for this time of year. But not a drop of rain in the forecast, and a gentle breeze out of the northeast, bringing down drier air, making it feel very comfortable. I think all in all, a nice forecast for today. Big changes coming up for the weekend, though. We'll talk about that in a few.
All right, John, thank you. Now, Suncoast Roadway, still that accident on State Road 64 eastbound. It is partially blocked at Uline Road. That's out east of 75, so be aware of that. It's not causing a backup right now, but it may very well as volume picks up. Otherwise, Manatee County looking pretty good, pretty normal for this time of the morning. And as you head down into Sarasota County, no accidents or delays in all of Sarasota County, and whether it's from the northernmost point down to the southernmost point.
Coming up on 6:32 and topping our news this half hour, FBI Director James Comey is thrust into the spotlight in these final days leading up to the election.
Comey, once derided by Donald Trump for his handling of the Clinton email server investigation, now taking criticism from the other side over the exact same issue. Reed Binion reports.
Clearly, these protocols were protocols that Director Comey understood.
Democratic Vice Presidential nominee Tim Kaine slamming FBI Director James Comey for making public the renewed probe into Hillary Clinton's email server after the discovery of possibly new emails on the laptop of Anthony Weiner, the estranged husband of Clinton aide Huma Abedin. The Clinton camp going on defense, trying to make the story about Comey. Clinton campaign manager Robbie Mook hitting Comey for commenting on the emails after reportedly refusing to comment on potential ties between the Trump campaign and alleged Russian efforts to influence the election. The Clinton camp getting help in its criticism of Comey from former U.S. Attorney General Alberto Gonzales.
I didn't understand the purpose of the letter. All of us somewhat perplexed about, what the director was trying to accomplish here.
Two of Gonzales's peers echoing that criticism. Former U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder writing an op-ed calling Comey's decision incorrect. Former Attorney General Michael Mukasey also saying that Comey mishandled the situation, but pushing back on Democrats' claims that Comey may have broken the law. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
All right, already close to 30% of Florida voters have cast their ballots.
Yeah, there are 13 million people eligible in Florida to vote. 1.8 million residents participated in early voting, while almost 2 million voted by mail. So far, Republicans hold a slight edge over Democrats. While Election Day is next Tuesday, early voting sites will stay up through November 5th. Now to an update on the efforts to have the 911 calls from the Pulse nightclub released to the public. A judge is ordering the city of Orlando to release the recordings of the gunman talking to police dispatchers and negotiators. The judge says the calls made by Omar Mateen during the June massacre must be made public immediately. The city previously released a transcript of one of the calls, but the judge says she will not rule on whether 232 other 911 calls can be released until she has listened to them. Media groups want the calls released so the public can evaluate the police response to the shooting. The city of Orlando, however, and some families of the victims say the calls depict suffering and should not be made public. New details out of Oklahoma in the manhunt of Michael Vance, who was shot and killed in a police shootout yesterday. 3 people are now facing felony charges for aiding and abetting Vance during the manhunt over the last week. Danny Roach, Reginald Moore, and April Harden are being charged with 2 counts of being accessories to felony murder. Police say they provided Vance with an assault rifle and ammunition. He went missing on October 23rd after allegedly killing his aunt and uncle and then shooting 2 police officers. Vance was found yesterday after his car was spotted and reported to police. And in Alabama, 1 person is dead and several are injured after a large gas pipeline exploded. It happened as crews were working on it near a highway in Shelby County. The explosion and fire that followed caused 3 wildfires in the area. Firefighters worked through the night in an attempt to put those fires out. Neighbors say the explosion looked and felt like a plane had crashed. Voluntary evacuations were put in place, but no homes were damaged. Residents say their concerns with the people who were hurt.
Our first prayer, I mean, really, sincerely, was just for families and just the crew that were back there working, and all this is temporal. You know, we're really prayerful for their families.
At least 6 people were injured in the blast. The pipeline supplies gas to millions of people.
Take a look at this. An 87-year-old woman is safe after being rescued from her burning car. Deborah Spears says she didn't even notice the flames coming out of the front of the car until a police officer started yelling at her to get out. The officer's body camera recorded this rescue as he rushed in to help her escape. By the time she got out, the whole front end was fully engulfed. Spear wasn't too worried about it. She was heard telling the officer she needed to grab her cane first before exiting. Well, the officer ended up getting it for her and then used a fire extinguisher to put out that fire. Investigators say she was driving on a flat tire, and it was the sparks that caused her car to ignite. Scary.
That is scary. Now, a well-known bank is paying out big time. Wells Fargo has agreed to pay $50 million in a new settlement. This time, the banking giant is accused of overcharging homeowners for appraisal fees. Those fees are typically $30 or less, but Wells Fargo was charging at least 3 times that amount. A spokesman for Wells Fargo insists the bank did not do anything wrong. This news comes almost 2 months after bank employees opened millions of phony accounts without customers' permission in order to boost their sales numbers. And this year's Halloween holiday proved very profitable, about $8.4 billion worth of profitable. That's an all-time high in spending on the holiday. In the 11 years the National Retail Foundation has done a survey, a little over $3 billion worth of that is spent on costumes. Halloween candy represents $2.5 billion more dollars. On average for U.S. consumers, spending on the holiday is up $8 to nearly $83.
Well, with Halloween over, we get to focus on Thanksgiving. Good for that. Butterball has been fielding phone calls from Thanksgiving cooks for nearly 30 years. Now you can text your turkey-related questions this year for the first time. The company's regular phone helpline begins tomorrow. Okay, those are for people who are really planning ahead. Butterball will start to take text message questions on November 17th and then continue through Thanksgiving Day. So the #1 question they get, how long does it take to thaw a turkey? But if you're asking that on Thanksgiving morning, you're out of luck. Because the answer is it takes several days to thaw a turkey correctly.
I can never get the thermometer in the right spot. Ever.
Right above the hip, right?
Never works for me.
No?
I mean, it comes out the right temperature, and then I pull the bird out and carve it up, and, you know, then it's all not right.
Icicles on the inside.
Pretty much.
Wow.
I don't know what it is. I just don't. I just
should
can't
try
do it.
multiple pokes.
Turkey 911, John. Turkey 911.
I know.
Text your question to Butterball.
Yeah, I'm going to ask Judy Gallagher.
Chef Judy.
That'll work, too.
Yeah,
Get Butterball.
I'm going to have to get a lesson. We have some pretty decent weather shaping up for us this afternoon. Talk about that in just a second.
Speed, power, and excitement come to ABC 7 Sunday, November 20th with live coverage of the Inglewood Beach Waterfest. See the World Championship for the Offshore Powerboat Association with boats running at speeds up to 180 miles per hour. Join Bob Harrigan for complete coverage from noon to 3 on Sunday, November 20th. Or watch on the ABC 7 channel on Amazon Fire TV. Go to mysuncoast.com for more info. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Presented by ABC 7 and WENG Radio.
I'm Alan Cohn. The future of sea level rise. As part of our Suncoast 2037 series, we look into how rising waters will shape the Suncoast.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
Types of timber, cuts of meat, cooking times, temperatures, rubs, seasonings, sauces. You name it, they know it. That's what makes them who they are, Sonny's Pitmasters. And proud of it. Come get some baby back ribs at Sonny's Barbecue. On their own or paired with favorites like jalapeno cheddar hot links or pulled or sliced pork plus 2 sides and bread. Sonny's Barbecue. Local Pitmasters since '68.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
So our current air temperature and dew point combined together produce some very pleasant weather conditions outside right now. 67 degrees the air temperature, dew point is at 62. It's all about the wind direction and the dry air in the forecast for the next several days. Our daytime highs are going to be warmer than average. But with that afternoon breeze, with the drier air, it's going to feel very, very nice, I think, during the second half of the day into the evening hours. Beautiful evenings each and every evening. Right now, we have a lot of starry skies out there. Temperatures across the region pretty much uniform. We have 64, Wauchula, Parrish, Bradenton at 63, Lakewood Ranch 64, Myakka 63, Arcadia the same, Northport ditto. A little warmer right along the coast with 66 in Venice and Inglewood, 68 degrees at Longboat Key. Take a look at the water vapor imagery, showing you the swirls, motions, where the dry air is, where it is not, and the tan color showing that dry air just funneling down the spine of the state. There's only one forecast you can make when you see a water imagery picture like this, and that is sunny skies, dry conditions, and really very pleasant afternoons. That'll be the case for the next several days. I think lots of blue sky will lead to some very pretty sunsets and sunrises over the next several mornings. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of pictures in to pics at mysuncoast.com of that. Satellite view right now showing very clear skies across the entire state at this hour, and I think that'll be the case throughout the day today. We do have a little trough of low pressure trying to work its way across the Atlantic, but has no impact on us. High pressure is our dominant weather feature. Now, over the next several days, we're going to be watching very carefully this frontal boundary carving its way through the center part of the country, bringing some relief from the heat back to the west. Eventually, some of that cooler air will sink southward into our neck of the woods and take this wind direction, which is be consistently out of the northeast and east over the next several days, and kind of swing it around to the north and to the northwest. That'll draw down some slightly cooler air and certainly dry air, reinforce the dry air that's in place, and provide us with a gorgeous weekend ahead. High pressure stays in the forecast for the next couple of days, bringing warm afternoons, dry skies, and that breezy northeast wind. That's the weather highlight that'll take you through the next several days. Traveling today, Denver may see a few showers and thunderstorms. Chicago may see a few as well there, and down around the Houston area, probably a few thunderstorms. Each of those airports could suffer some airport delays because of weather, but certainly the state of Florida dry as a bone over the next several days. The RPM computer model shows a few fair weather clouds building over the next several days. It also picks up on some of the moisture being slung back across the peninsula from the Atlantic waters. In fact, it even takes it so far as to bring a few showers into our neck of the woods. I doubt that. But I think the general trend of increased moisture and a thin layer of the atmosphere supporting a few more clouds around on Thursday and Friday is pretty accurate. I think we'll probably will see that. As far as the tropics go, couldn't be better. Things are very quiet here. A few clusters of clouds around the Lesser Antilles and extending all the way back toward Hispaniola, really, but nothing that's organized, nothing that's going to produce any issues. Gulf waters, the Western Caribbean, near Atlantic, all look perfect. No issues whatsoever. For boaters today, northeast wind at about 15 will bring you a moderate chop with 2 to 3 foot seas. Probably a wind surge starting in the mid-afternoon and continuing on through the evening. Next several days feature warmer than average temperatures. Getting into Friday into Saturday, the cold front comes through, drops our nighttime lows, daytime highs by about 10 degrees. And don't forget those clocks go back Saturday night into Sunday morning. Back to you.
All right, we'll look forward to that. Thank you, John. As you're looking out to the morning commute, we do have an accident to tell you about. Once again, State Road 64 in the eastbound direction is blocked. That is east of I-75, so that'll be something to keep an eye out for. As we take a look to the west in Bradenton, both directions, 301 and 41, moving pretty well. Starting to see the normal slowdowns if you're coming southbound over the Green Bridge, but no major problems. Things look pretty good down to the south. Starting to see building volume Fruitville eastbound, also Bee Ridge and Clark roads, but no accidents being reported throughout Sarasota, and I-75 looks good. Only time, now we're seeing a problem on I-75 down in South County. It is at Jacaranda, exit 193. Report of an accident in the northbound direction, but as of now, no slowdowns as a result.
Now, Venice Regional is offering help to those planning to enroll in the Affordable Care Act.
Open enrollment begins today and will last until January 31st. The Affordable Care Act passed in 2010. It offers health care to those who would otherwise be uninsured. If you plan to enroll but you need help filling out the application, you can contact Venice Regional, or you can log in online at getcoveredamerica.org. A wearable skin patch may help kids who are allergic to peanuts. A study found that nearly half of those treated with the ViaSkin peanut patch for 1 year were able to consume at least 10 times more peanut product than before. The biggest benefit came from those who were 4 to 11 years old. The therapy works by training the immune system to tolerate small amounts of peanuts. The ViaSkin peanut patch has not been approved by the Food and Drug Administration, and they say more research is needed.
Now, you may have done a good job of staying away from that Halloween candy leading up to last night, but how good are you at passing over on leftovers today? I just grabbed a Snickers bar while John was doing his weather.
Yeah, I did a good job last night, but leftovers are harder.
Yes.
And according to our doctors, we can power our way through the workday without reaching for sweets with a little bit of mind over matter, but it helps if we come prepared. First of all, eat a solid breakfast. It needs to be high in protein because that will help reduce the sugar cravings that creep up on us in the afternoon. Now, it is not a complete diet record, Don, if you grab 1 or 2 treats, so you're still okay with that Snickers. But there are some tricks to how you do it.
Is to indulge in one of those candy bars. Do it mindfully. Make sure that you sit down. You can also eat with your non-dominant hand. I'm right-handed, so eating with my left hand. That's going to help to slow down, giving that piece of candy all of your attention so you can savor it and really enjoy it.
Hopefully you enjoyed those calories, John. If you're trying to avoid sugar, give yourself a mid-afternoon energy boost at work by getting up, walking around, doing some stretching. That'll get your blood pumping and give you a natural energy boost.
I did eat the Snickers with my non-dominant hand.
Okay, good. Good. Hopefully that helped. Well, actor Val Kilmer says it is business as usual despite new concerns about his health.
Fellow actor Michael Douglas said that Kilmer is dealing with exactly what Douglas had, adding that things don't look good. Douglas was implying that Kilmer has oral cancer. First reports that Kilmer has cancer emerged last year, but he is still making promotional plans for his movie Cinema Twain, a version of his one-man play of Mark Twain. The actor told his fans on Facebook that he's hoping to see them on the trail. The criminal case against Bill Cosby goes to court again today, where his lawyers will be asking the judge to dismiss these charges. Bill Cosby faces 3 felony indecent assault charges, and they all stem from an incident in 2004 involving an employee at Temple University. In a motion filed last week, Cosby's attorneys said he is legally blind. They claim that prevents the 79-year-old from seeing his accusers and could hamper his defense.
Country music fans already flocking to Nashville for tomorrow night's big country music awards. The artists have started to hit the stage to practice their performances for the big gala event. This is the 50th year for the award show. Brad Paisley and Carrie Underwood return as hosts, and you can see those CMAs live right here on ABC 7 tomorrow night. Well, Cinderella was a hit as a live action movie, and there's a lot of buzz around the upcoming Beauty and the Beast. Well, now another Disney princess is going to make the leap from animation to live action. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Disney has a musical live action version of Snow White in the works. The 1937 original is considered one of the most successful animated films of all time, and the new take will expand on the story and the music.
All right, well, the Chicago Bears won a Monday Night Football last night, and now the Chicago Cubs try to tie the World Series tonight in Cleveland. They continue to dominate evening TV. The Cubs win to stave off elimination Sunday had more viewers than the NFL Sunday night game, which was the Cowboys, believe it or not. More people tuned into Fox to watch the Cubs win than to watch that Cowboys match up against the Eagles. It was the best rating for any baseball game in the last 5 years, and it represents the first time in 3 years that a World Series game has topped Sunday Night Football. Game 6 is tonight in Cleveland. Cubs win would tie it, obviously, 3 games apiece and force a Game 7 tomorrow night. But the thing that bothers me is the NFL has no problem going up, putting that great game up Sunday night against the World Series, but the World Series never goes up against Monday Night Football. It's always been kind of an unwritten rule.
Right. Well,
so the NFL
guess what,
care.
though? The World Series won.
It's good. That's what the
right.
NFL gets.
Big audience tonight. I may have to stay up late. We'll see how it goes. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
Love is in the air. For a pilot, at least, we'll show you what he did to make one flight very special for his girlfriend.
Our dad is an incredible man, a great father, and a hero who served his country well. He worked hard to take care of us. Now we take care of Dad with the help of Granny Nannies.
A helping hand and a gentle heart.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. White bacon is sizzling hot in all kinds of food and drink, plus November charity events and Tandoor Indian cuisine in the kitchen.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
Hurricane season is here. We'll make sure you're prepared. Watch our hurricane special on our ABC 7 app and all our live streaming platforms.
Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass & Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WindGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WindGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass & Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
Gold fever has once again swept the nation. And everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. Introducing the $5 million Gold Rush Doubler. We're doubling cash prizes for over $752 million in payouts. And 36 prizes from $1 million to $5 million. The Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC 7's Good Morning Suncoast.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Granny Nannies. We've been making house calls for over 25 years. When you need home health care services, there really is no place like home.
Grandma! A helping hand.
Looking at traffic, things are fine in Bradenton. Building volume southbound on the bridges, which we expect to see. 301 both directions picking up as well. It looks pretty good across Fruitville, Bee Ridge, Clark Roads, and also University. If you are traveling into Sarasota, one accident to report on I-75. It's at Jacaranda, but we are not seeing any backups as of yet. I-75 northbound, a wreck at exit 193.
So looking at pretty decent weather for today. We have daytime highs that'll top out in the upper 80s, just as we did yesterday when we hit 88. No rain in the forecast, but a nice breezy wind out of the northeast keeps us comfortable this afternoon.
So now that I have her complete attention, Anna, ¿quieres casarte conmigo? Will you marry me?
Oh, love is in the air on Qantas Airlines. Captain Dooley Ellis has been a pilot for 30 years and has had to make plenty of announcements in that time, but none like this one. His girlfriend was on the flight from Australia to LA, so he decided it was the perfect time to ask her to marry him. After the announcement, he emerged from the cabin with flowers and a ring before dropping to one knee and proposing. She, of course, said absolutely not. No,
oh, she didn't
said
say that.
Yes, I'm kidding. Of course, it was a happy
Because
ending.
if she said no, we wouldn't be putting it out everywhere.
Maybe.
Because no, you don't do that.
Because then he grabs her and throws her out of the plane.
Oh my goodness. Be nice. It's your birthday. You should be happy.
I know. I am happy.
Maybe
I'm
you're
happy,
edgy that you're
very
old.
happy. Let's take a look at Cleveland. Cleveland rocks tonight.
Cleveland
Big
does
game.
rock. World Series Game 6. Can I say go Cubs?